Welcome back to another review, another indie book. Are we surprised? No, we're not. But I'm coming in today to review Moroda. I finally got around to reading it, guys. But I haven't had this long. But I have had the Iron Crown on my TBR by the same author, Ella McRae, for a while, and that will be one that I'll be getting to next. However, today we are discussing Moroda. I gave this one 4 stars. I had a feeling I was gonna love the books, but I didn't know that I was gonna love it. Do you know what I mean? So this tells a young girl called Moroda and her sister Erin who have to flee their city because Moroda is arrested. Her life is turned upside down. It's just her and her sister, and then she's arrested and thrown in jail. Things happen. I'm trying to do non-spoiler reviews and I realise sometimes it's just so hard not to spoil things, but I'm gonna double check what's on the back of the synopsis just so I don't spoil. Okay, so it does say that. So the bad guy in this is from an exiled race and he has the power of compulsion. So it's very difficult for people to deny him whatever he wants, and he is a very, very powerful man. Moroda's city is invaded. She has to flee because it's being burnt to the ground. Moroda flees on a Sky Pirates airship with some people who are not the best of friends. Like, this is a very reluctant found family, and I just love this vibe. Absolutely love this vibe. The biting back that people do with each other. Like, I don't want to help you, but I will. Then it's going to, oh, I actually do kind of like you. And it's, I don't know why, but I love that kind of vibe. I love the characters, I love the world building. The whole magic system in this is different to what I usually find. So you're not necessarily born with magic, but people can pull magic if they learn about it. They can wield magic if they learn about it. But only certain people can, like, retain the information and actually perform magic. That sounds very vague, but you'll understand if you've read it. Okay, so when it comes to characters, you've got Moroda and Erin, that are sisters. You've got Amara, who is the pirate of the Sky Pirate airship. You've got Palom and Anarik, who I'm not going to tell you what they are, you will find out. There are a few different races in this as well. There's Vakane, which some of them can turn into snakes, is their other form. There's a whole magic system and world behind what form you shift into and that kind of thing. It's very, very interesting, and it's not something I've come across before. So just to say you were brothers, it doesn't, and you can change forms, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to change to the same forms. Just because you know, someone could turn into a leopard, or someone can change their form into an eagle. Like, it's not about who your family is as to what you can turn into, if that makes sense. I'm not explaining this very well, but the magic in this I really enjoyed, and just the whole quest adventure, trying to find a way to save everybody from this cruel being who thinks he's owed something, and it's just so good. This has been rewritten, and I am going to do a review of the rewritten one as well to see if it's any different. I think Lauren said there's over 100 extra pages plus bonus chapters, like bonus information, so I am definitely going to get the reprinted version of this. I would like to compare that one to this one. The reason why I gave it 4 stars instead of 5, there were some things that didn't happen on page. I didn't feel the impact of what happened as much as if I'd have read it happening. My favourite character in all of this, other than Moroda, because I think you're supposed to root for Moroda, would be Amara. And she's the one that's like, I don't need any of you, I just want to be by myself, I am a fearsome Sky Pirate. And she's clearly not, obviously, she really does want friends, but I just really enjoy her as a character. That's one thing that I will say Lauren does very well, other than the world building, is the character development. So Erin in this is very whiny, and if a character like that is not written very well, it can affect my enjoyment of the book, because as soon as that character comes on page, I'm just like, oh, shut up, and then I don't want to continue reading from that character because it's annoying. But if it's written well, I can deal with that, because you know that that's the way that you're supposed to think about that person. But the way that she writes is it splits up Erin's whining with Moroda being positive and trying to enforce sort of like a positive mental attitude, saying like, look, we're experiencing amazing new things. Yes, we're scared, but look at the positives. So it's not just whiny, woe is me. So the fact that she can sort of contrast those two characters makes it less annoying when Erin is on page. You know, you can't have all heroine, amazingly brave characters in a book, because then they would all just be one-dimensional and the same, and you need those ups and downs and characters that you love to hate or love to dislike, or actually just dislike. Other than Erin, I don't think any other character annoyed me. I really do love Sapporo though in this. He's probably the most morally grey character. He's probably the morally grey character of the bunch, and he's the Varkane. And the way the narrator like individually separates these characters by their voices, slightly changing her tone to be a bit more breathy and mysterious sounding. That doesn't sound right, but you know what I mean, when she's talking in Sapporo's voice. And then there's Palom and Anarik. Anarik is just a ball of energy, like an absolute, just so excitable, and he just flits about everywhere. And the creature that he is matches him as a person. He's very up himself at times though. Yeah, he is very. And then you've got Palom, who's the strong one, who seems very traditional in his ways, but also and very protective very quickly. But I feel like that's just the kind of person that he is. He's just a protective kind of person. If he thinks someone's in need, then he does it. Oh, I forgot about Morgan. Morgan is the captain, or one of the captains who arrested Moroda, and then for one reason or another you'll find out why he ends up fleeing with them. And Morgan, the accent that she's done for Morgan is a northern accent, and I absolutely adore it. It's just, you don't usually hear like northern, or like, I don't know how northern it's supposed to be, whether it's more Lancashire or Yorkshire, but he has a kind of Yorkshire, Lancashire sort of accent. I just love him. When it comes to romance and smut, obviously it's a YA, spice level is going to be a 1, but there was something that I started to ship between some characters, and yes, I know I said I don't need romance in all my books, but I can ship somebody if I want to, and I did. But whether or not they get together or feel anything for each other, you'll have to find out. One thing I didn't expect from this book is the ending. The ending, I was crying. So be prepared. Get tissues at the ready. I did tear up in parts of this book because of things that happen, but the ending is the bit that made me feel the most, and I'm now not sure how I feel about going on to book 2 if she's already breaking my heart in book 1. This is gonna be fun, isn't it? It's gonna be a wild ride. I'm gonna be crying even more. I am gonna try and vlog more of my reading and reactions to what I'm reading. I will be picking up Palom with Catherine and Becca. She is re-releasing the whole series in new covers, but she's not rewriting the rest of the series as far as I'm aware. But I do have books 1 and 2 in this cover. I will be getting books 3 and 4 in the older cover, and then I will probably get them all in the newer covers as well, including the rewrite of this. Because why? Because they're pretty. Because they're pretty. But yeah, anyway, that's me done. This was a very short review, I think. But if you want sky pirates, dragons, cool magic system, characters you're gonna want to squeeze, characters you want to yeet through a window, and just a fun, fine, funky, fresh YA questing novel that just takes you to places that you've never really been before on an airship. There's some things happen on land, but it's just a lot of this happens in the air. And again, that's not usually something I've ever really read about. When people quest, they're usually walking everywhere or going on horses or on the sea, but not in an airship, not in the air. So that for me was another fun thing about this novel. And when I'm thinking about it now, I don't know why I didn't give it 5 stars if the only thing was that things didn't happen on page. I am excited to read the Iron Crown that I've got. I think I'm going to try and read that next month or the month after, and I'll speak to Becca and Catherine as to when we're going to read in Palom. But yeah, we'll be doing more indie reviews, so if you know of any books, preferably indie, but I don't mind reviewing traditionally published books as well, then leave them down below with links on where I can find them to purchase them, and I will try my best to collate them and get around to reading them sometime soon. I already have a list of indie books that I want to read, so if I don't get any recommendations from you guys, those are the books I will be turning to first to read. So again, that's me done. I keep saying this, but it is genuinely me done. I might try and put some kind of Google form together to see like what people recommend. If you would like to see that, let me know, so then I can collate it all in one place. That makes more sense, doesn't it? I will do that. You don't have to tell me, you don't have to comment, I'm going to do that. But I will see you all in my next review, which is probably going to be of Darkness and Light by Ryan Cahill. Even though I've not done a review of A Blood and Fire or The Fall, but I'm going to review Ryan Cahill as a whole to date once I've read of Darkness and Light and The Exile. I'm going to give you a series to date review rather than individual reviews, because I'm late at this as always. So thank you for joining, thank you for watching, thank you for being part of my teeny weeny tiny corner of the tinterwebs, and I will speak to you soon.
Every time I fall in love, it seems to be at the